The secret that trees know and most men forget. Let the old you die to become unrecognizable. How nature commands radical renewal. Have you ever noticed how the person staring back at you in the mirror 5 years from now will barely recognize the one looking today? Yet most of us fight tooth and nail to keep everything exactly the same. It's not a coincidence. The average adult changes jobs 7 times, moves houses nearly a dozen times, and still clings to the same tired stories about who they are, as if identity were a suitcase we're terrified to unpack. Remember when life felt lighter, when a single summer could rewrite your entire personality because you hadn't yet calcified into the role society handed you? Somewhere along the way, that stopped happening. The world started selling continuity like it's a virtue. Keep the same friends, the same opinions, the same grudges, the same debt-financed lifestyle. We're told that consistency equals maturity, that shedding the past is flaky or disloyal, and yet every tree in the forest is laughing at us. Look outside right now. Any tree you can see has done something in the last 12 months that would absolutely terrify the average 35-year-old. It has deliberately killed and discarded half of its body weight in leaves. It's let entire branches die, peeled away at layers of protective bark that took years to build, all without hesitation, all without therapy, all without asking for permission from last year's version of itself. Go back further. The oak outside your window is not the same organism it was a decade ago. Botanists estimate that some trees replace nearly every single one of their cells every 7 to 10 years. The wood, the roots, even the chemical signature of the sap, none of it is original equipment anymore. The tree you planted as a child has committed quiet suicide 1,000 times over and resurrected itself into something stronger, taller, more resilient, while still standing in the exact same spot. It never moved to Bali, it never read a self-help book, it never announced a new chapter on social media. It simply refused to bring its old self into the new season. Arthur Schopenhauer observed it when he said, "Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world." We treat the person we were at 25 like a permanent operating system instead of a rough draft. The habits that once kept you alive in hostile environments become the bars of your cage you built with your own hands. That sharp tongue that protected you in a chaotic childhood now repels every meaningful connection. That obsessive need to control every out that got you through poverty now guarantees you'll never taste real freedom. And still, the tree knows better. When the light changes, when the soil shifts, when drought or flood arrives, it doesn't try to negotiate with reality. It drops what no longer serves and grows around the wound. The history is brutal if you're willing to look. Every great renewal story we secretly admire follows the exact same pattern we're terrified to live. The Roman Empire didn't reform itself. It had to burn, fracture, and lie there for centuries before new roots could push through the rubble. The samurai who survived didn't transition gracefully. Most of them cut their hair, sold their swords, and became businessmen overnight. Many committing ritual suicide rather than drag the old code into a world that no longer needed it. Even the biblical metaphor that shaped half the planet is drenched in this truth. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. We quote this at funerals, but completely ignore it while we're still breathing. Here's the part they don't want you to notice. There is no gentle way to do this. Peeling hurts. Bark doesn't slide off politely. It cracks and bleeds sap. Leaves don't flutter down because they're ready for retirement. They're murdered by the tree itself. Nature is not sentimental, and neither should you be. Stop negotiating with the version of you that's already dead. Stop performing CPR on relationships and beliefs that have been flatlining for years just to avoid the discomfort of a funeral. So this is the way forward. It's deceptively simple, almost insultingly. Stop lying about what still fits. Every morning you wake up and choose which parts of yesterday you will carry forward and which parts you will let rot in the ground to feed something new. That's it. Simple. No vision boards, no 10-step programs, no waiting for permission or the perfect moment. Just the daily quiet violence of refusal. I will no longer answer to that name, defend that story, or protect that wound. The tree doesn't announce its transformation. It simply stops watering the branches that no longer align with the direction of the sun. In the coming years, artificial intelligence will make this refusal both easier and more urgent than ever before. Entire careers built on human memory, pattern recognition, and skill are already peeling away like old bark, and soon enough, the average person will have access to tools that can outperform the current version of themselves within weeks. Those who cling hardest to the old self will be the first to feel obsolete. Meanwhile, across the West, governments are quietly rolling out digital currencies and social credit experiments that reward conformity and punish deviation. The pressure to remain the same predictable, tractable consumer has never been higher. The tree's ancient strategy suddenly looks less like poetry and more like survival. You still have time. The rings inside you are still forming. Let the dead wood fall. And as always, live deliberately.